What is good, everybody? Alex here. Welcome so much for coming back to my channel. I got a very special guest with me today. Hey, one of the best out of Kentucky. Resides now in San Diego, California. I got my boy WesGrams. Wes, what's
Let's
good
go.
today? That boy, good. So, Wes, bro, for the people who don't know much about you, go ahead and tell us a little bit about your background. What do you do for a living? Like, what's going on? Talk to us.
So, me as a artist coming out of Kentucky, I did a lot of musician work with players in the NBA right now, all sorts of stuff like that. But I kind of took a side swipe over to go see my mom out in California. So I moved out from Kentucky to California, left kind of what I was doing, but took the music with me. And then I brought it out here to San Diego, which I'm hoping,
Hey.
to to bring it out here to California, pump the state up a little bit. Even though it's already pumped, it's a lot of competition I got to go against. But basically, just came out here to be close to my mom. Most importantly, this COVID-19 stuff that's going on is crazy. All these people that are, losing family members, and you saw the story of Carl Anthony Towns.
Yeah.
You saw, man, I don't even want to bring names up.
Yeah, we
It's
not
not even.
that vibe of being here. But,
Yeah.
bro, so that's dope though. So you came out here from Kentucky pretty much just to be close to your mom, took the music with you. Kind of talk a little bit about your music and your style and kind of where does that originate from, or just go ahead and tell us a
So
little bit.
West Side was thought of when I was like 14. I never went to California, never been to California. When I came out here to visit my mom was the first time I ever seen California, but we're taking it way back then. Like, this was just like things like, oh, people say West Side all the time, but I always heard my name in it.
Yeah.
I always heard my name in it. Like, I keep hearing West. I keep hearing West. And that brought it back to when I was like 14. I was like, I'm just gonna. Dude, I've been wanting to rap, Alex, since I was
Bro,
11, 10. My first album was Bone Thugs and Harmony. Um, I can't even remember the album name, but if I saw the album cover, I would understand. I would be like, oh, that one, that's the one if I saw it. But that was my first album, and ever since I listened to that, I used to listen to country before that.
word.
And all of a sudden,
Crazy.
that album hit me, and I was like, whoa, this is a whole different genre. And I wanted to be a rapper since then. And I was probably maybe even younger than that, maybe like 7, 8. I don't know. But ever since then, I wanted to just do music. And it's crazy, man. The music game, it's just something you don't even want to get into for real.
Nah, I've heard some stories, especially being out here in SoCal. But before we even dig deep into that, bro, like I know already, but for the audience, go ahead and let them know, like, you came to Cali, but how did you get to Cali, first of all? Like, tell us a little bit of that story.
Oh, man, this is crazy. All right, listen, this is crazy. If you got 5 minutes, you got it. I mean, this.
Give us the game, bro. Talk to us.
All right, so my mom, she moved to San Diego. And I was like, I kept visiting out there for like, 5 times. After 5 times, I was like, wow, this is beautiful. The trees are different. The sunset's different. So I bought an RV. I bought a 27-foot RV, 3 bedrooms, if you would say, 2 bedrooms really, but one of them was a fold-down couch, so makes it 3. Had a bathroom though, shower, oven, microwave, everything you need, all the essentials. Even had a driver's seat, so it felt like a house in the back, but in the front it felt like a real car. You know what I mean? So like even had the driver's seat. But the cool thing about that is we got to travel the world, but all the stops that we got to hit that hit us, like all the walls that we hit, like we had to go to St. Louis. I went through the worst hood in St. Louis, East St. Louis. If you ain't never been to East St. Louis, I was with Omar. I would never be in East St. Louis. I would never have any reason to be in East St. Louis.
Right.
But
I
was with Omar.
Yep.
Yeah, I was with Omar. Omar, by the way, before, he was the guy that was with me that was traveling to help me, expense all this stuff. The gas, he wanted to go out to California just as bad as I did.
Right.
But his mom lived in the hood of East St. Louis. So he takes us all the way over to East St. Louis. I've never been, so I'm over there. We parked the RV and we already know. And him being you know, him and his mom living in the hood, and him from being from the hood, he already knows what hood is about. I don't really, but I do, but I don't. Not like what his extent of hood is. And even us parking there, he was like, this ain't safe. Because there's already a gang sitting in the park across the street, just eyeing us when we're parking the RV.
Right.
You know, you just know the vibes. You know the vibes. So we get to St. Louis. We see his mom, and we're already being like, you know, we have to leave a day early just because it was a threat. East St. Louis is bad. By the way, don't go to East St. Louis. It is really, really bad. But the next stop, Colorado, we broke down for like 2 weeks. We get there, and thank God we know somebody in this little town that we break in of Copper Mountain, Colorado. And she was from Lexington, Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
We know her from, you know, mutual friends. She let us stay. You know, that story is literally crazy, Alex. If I get into that, man,
That's
travel. Look, I don't even want to get into that because it will take up all your time.
But bro, this is the craziest thing is that y'all Kentucky boys and girls, y'all ride for each other, bro. Like, I love how for one, that Omar was just rocking with you. He was helping you with expenses. Like, he was down to go ahead and come to Cali too. And your other homie Dane is down. And I know there was the other homie too. Who was the other dude again? Who was with you?
Dale, Dewey, the Marine guy, the tatted guy.
And it's just like,
yeah.
Come on, let's all just go ahead and push to Cali. Let's just go ahead and start something new. And like the fact that y'all just went up and just dipped like that, like without just having a set plan, without just having everything laid out, you're just like, yo, let's we got the RV, let's push, yo.
It was crazy. Yeah, I know. I mean, we just had a little bit of money to invest, and we, you know, like for anybody, you got a little bit of money to invest in something you believe in. It will happen if you want it to happen. I mean, of course, I didn't think I was gonna move to San Diego, but I wanted it to happen, so it happened. Exactly. Like, I mean, that's just what it is. But yeah, man, it's crazy. It's that move was crazy.
That was a crazy experience. So you get to San Diego now. Do you start taking rap more serious once you get to San Diego, or does rap kind of get put on hold once you get?
I don't know. It's weird. It's like, you know, I put out a bunch of stuff in Kentucky. I had songs with NBA players, and I didn't even put out my own original stuff. I think I'm my biggest critic when it comes to music. I think a lot of artists are. If it was my word to anybody, it would say don't be your biggest critic. But it is okay to be your biggest critic, because now that I'm releasing stuff, I'm feeling like that I'm releasing things that I'm actually – like, I work with a producer who lets me do what I want. I don't know what other people in music do if they're working with someone who doesn't let them do what they want, or get frustrated when they say, hey, you should change this, which a lot of, you know, people in the music game – they work with producers like, oh, you should change this. The producer gets all frustrated. That's not a good way to work, you know, and that's why I'm trying to come out with masterpieces, and that's why I'm releasing things, because my producer's like, hey, you tell me what you want to hear, and I'll fix up the extra stuff that you don't hear, and that's why we're working so good together, you know. So like, the music game is really tough when it comes to advertising, when it comes to marketing, when it comes to going up against other artists. To be honest with you, I don't feel like I'm going to go back to you saying being I'm from Kentucky, we're real, because you boys from Sac are real too. I'm going to go back to say that. But, yeah, like, the music game's tough. You know what I mean? You got to go through this angle. You got to go through this angle. You got to go through this angle. And I don't want to do all that. I just want to release music and people like my stuff. And I don't care about, you know, being famous, all that stuff. That can come later. The money would be great. You know what I mean? If I had money, you know me, Alex, I'm going to give it to my dad. I'm going to give it to my mom. I'm going to give it to my brother, you know, my brother I don't even have. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I don't even think about myself. And that's my biggest, you know, thing. I don't think about myself.
Yeah.
But
that's a fact. I could think of days where we would go out, you ain't even had bread. As soon as you got a little bit, hey, Alex, what you need, bro?
You know what I mean?
Like, I got you, like, just straight up.
You know, I mean, the vibe is so much different when you got people around you that are happy than it's just you happy.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, think about it. If me and you show up in a vicinity and we're both happy, we're breaking necks like ain't nobody's, you know what I mean? Ain't nobody's business.
Exactly.
So, you know, just on the standpoint of business, just on the standpoint of anything, like, I just think that as long as everybody around you just, you know, is happy with whatever they need, then, man, money ain't a thing. money ain't a thing. It is a lot. It is to everybody, but you know what I'm saying? Like, as long as everybody has enough money to pay for a drink, pay for some food while we're all together, you know, who cares your take? As long as everybody's happy, that's what brings people around you. I feel, we go out and do that, Alex, and you know what I mean? We bring good vibes around us.
I'm already knowing. So let me have you go ahead and take it back to 2015 Wes.
Okay.
How would you say, what's the biggest difference from the 2015 Wes as far as rapping goes compared to the 2020 Wes?
2015 Wes was a childish Wes. He was still old, but he was 25. So when I moved out here, I had no plan. And with my music, that kind of confused me, because when it came to music, I had no idea what to talk about. And now, even if people want to say I don't talk about something, or they want to say, he's really dope, I'm actually talking about something now. Back in 2015, I could just be saying something that people want to hear. Now I'm saying things it's like, he really earned his spot. He really earned where he's at. I work for a living. I work 40 hours a week, and that's not what I don't want to do like everybody else.
Right.
But, I want to do music. So that made me change. And plus, by the way, 2015 didn't have a kid coming on the way. I got a baby coming on the way that's due in October, So that's another whole reason. That's another whole reason. All if there's some dads listening out there, I'm telling you what, I don't know what that's like. I don't know what that's like. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. And, please give me advice if you have any, but that's the reason, man. That's the reason. That is everything.
And just to go ahead and harp on that, I mean, I love how you just mentioned that, like, you just have those experiences now. You got to go ahead and be a dad pretty soon. Shout out to you, bro. I know you're going to kill it as a father.
Thank you.
I think, and even, I'll even say.
I took a drink after that one.
Hey, you got to. But what I would say for you, just from the outside looking in, just seeing your growth, I want to say just the 2020 you just have so much more confidence than you had before. You're confident in your music. You're confident in your sound. Like you said, like, you putting out what you want to put, and you know that it's dope. I feel like the 2015 you, it was kind of like, yo, Alex, or yo, such and such. Like, what y'all think about this? I feel like the you now is just like, yo, I'm putting out what's dope. I know what sounds good to me. I know what I want to talk about. And also just the hunger, bro. Like, I feel like you now is just way more hungrier than you were before. Like, every time I see you now, it seems like you're either in the studio or y'all trying to shoot a music video, or y'all just got something going on, compared to them. Then, like, yeah, he was doing the rap scene, but like, you could tell that like the confidence wasn't all the way there. So kind of just talk about, for you in this current state, like, where did that confidence and that hunger, other than obviously you having a kid, but what made you say, all right, I need to go ahead and just put the foot down and let's just go ahead and go 100.
People like you that would sit back in the day, like you just said, and tell me, hey man, your stuff's good. And people like you that would recite my stuff when I wasn't thinking about it, and was like, oh, I did, I ain't gotta say the words, but the motto. But those kind of things help me every day. Like, not just you, everybody else that does that to me. Like, they'll be like, hey man, when you gonna bring that up again? Like I forgot about that sometimes. But I'm such a musician that I'm always moving on to the next. I'm always moving on to the next, man. Like, you know what? I can have a song halfway done and I throw it away because I'm already on to the next. I can wash those lyrics. I literally, it's just, if you're a musician, you can come up with lyrics, snap of a finger. I'll wash those lyrics. But it's people like you. It's people like, other people that come up to me and be like, when you going to do this? This is what changed me. This is what, it took years for someone to come up to me and be like, when you going to do this, man? When you going to do this? Other people work different. Other people are just like, I'm just going to do it, whether if it sounds good or if it sounds bad. I'm not like that. I want it to sound completely good. I want it to hit every, little drum in your ear. You know what I mean? Like, I want, if you like this sound, you're going to hear it. If you like, I want to hit everything. And like, I just think that after hearing so many people be like, when you going to do this? When you going to do this? When you going to do this?
Quick, bro.
It's just like, man, fuck it. It's just like, I am going to give a sound that everybody wants to hear. And I think now I'm doing that.
And I agree, bro. And like, I mean, we've always told you the flow is dope. Like you said, like you just had to hear it enough times, and all of a sudden, just that growth hits as well, and it's like, boom, all right, let's go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
And
You know what I mean?
yeah, bro, and it's real because you have the talent, and like when you hear your flow, like I remember the first time when you're like, yeah, I do music, I'm like, all right, this dude's just like everyone else.
I know.
And then
like everybody.
People do, bro. Like you don't look like the typical rapper, so I'm just like, all right, this dude, I just met him. He's saying he do music, but it's probably trash. But let me go ahead and listen to it. And then I listen to it, and I'm like, yo, this dude's lyrics is on point.
And you know what's crazy? That's what did it. But see, that kind of stuff is what did it, because to me, those songs that you heard obviously were not ready to go out, or I would have put them out. I mean, like it's just like I just knew there was something about it, but it still caught your ear. It still caught your. There was something about it that caught your ear. Whether if you heard the flaws that I might have heard more flaws than you did. If you heard something, for the first time, you're not catching any flaws. You're not like, you know what I mean? You're not like, oh, this is what's bad about it. But me, when I hear it and you're listening to it, I'm like, oh man, I hope he didn't hear this. I hope he didn't hear this. And then when it comes, it changes my whole mood, which changes your whole mood.
Right.
So it's like all about how you come at it. It's all about like, now I'm releasing this. That's just how I work. That's just, people work different. You got like people like Ice J Fish. He's just throwing it out there, but it's getting seen and it's getting known. And regardless if it's shitty or not, I don't know. I'm not voting on anybody's stuff, but I'm just saying
it's out here. And I'm glad, bro. Like I'm glad you actually mentioned like Ice JJ Fish and just some of these trash rappers who, if you're not gonna say it, I'm gonna say it. Like just these,
I mean, yeah. It's just what it is.
And people are really just in 2020 just riding a wave, like just to go in and get some clout real quick.
That's
like,
all it is.
You can tell that like your music, you've never been one to go ahead and jock like the newest wave or the sound. You're like, no,
hell no.
I'm WesGrams. I go ahead and do my own thing, bro. Like you've always
no. And another thing, and I caught myself doing something different, is that I used to want to follow the wave. I used to be like, I have to say this, or I have to say this metaphor because I have to follow Lil Wayne, and do not even attempt to even bring up best rappers alive, because if you don't bring up Lil Wayne when it comes to best rappers alive, then I mean you really aren't bringing up rappers, because I mean if you don't bring up Jay-Z, if you don't bring up Lil Wayne, I'm not gonna bring up anybody else, but them two, if you don't bring them up, then you haven't listened to rap long enough. Or I mean, like my first album was Bone Thugs, and I'm just a little white boy. And you know what I mean? Like,
no, people don't even know who Bone Thugs is anymore, bro.
You know what I mean? Like, so unless you have them in your top five, to be honest with you, Jay-Z and Lil Wayne, unless you have one of those two in your top five, then you really don't know music. And I don't care if you say Kendrick is great, all these people are great. I'm not knocking anybody. I'm just saying you got to have Jay-Z and Lil Wayne in your top five. There's no reason not to. Give me a reason why you should.
I'm gonna put you on the spot right now, then, bro. Go ahead and give me your top five real quick.
Oh shit! I said, all right. So I'm gonna give you my top five. And this is my top five. This is my top five,
bro.
My top five. This is not the world's top five.
Right.
I'm not saying 1 to 5 either. I'm just giving you my top five.
Okay.
Lil Wayne and Jay-Z. Okay. I'm definitely going to put Dom Kennedy up there. I like Dom Kennedy because I listened to Dom Kennedy when I was in Kentucky. Yep. I wasn't even a West Side cat. Mm-hmm. I lived in Kentucky listening to Dom Kennedy. Got to throw him up there. One of my favorite rappers, which you know who I'm about to say, who probably is my top number one. But, again, I don't want no criticism. Burner.
That boy Burner.
That boy Burner is...
Hey, boy.
That boy Burner is something else. He is really talking about what he's doing. He is really, just listen to his music. I don't have to explain for him. He's really talking about what he's doing. Number 5 is really, really tough. Number 5 is really, really tough. But I'm going to have to go back, and I still don't think anybody's beating. I'm going to have to go back to 2012, Lil Boosie.
My boy said Boosie?
Boosie is one of my favorite rappers ever. Hey, listen. Listen, I'm from the South.
To say that.
I am from the South. If anybody from the South comes out here and says Boosie ain't one of their favorite rappers, then they are not from the South. Boosie is a real Southern rapper who came up with next to Lil Wayne and all them, with Webby. You know what I mean? That's what, you know what I mean? That's when Lil Boosie came out with Set It Off. Please. Lil Boosie has to be in my top 5.
Shout out to Boosie, man. That boy going crazy.
Shout out to Boosie. It's not the same. It is not the same. I'm not saying it can't be the same, but you cannot beat vintage Boosie.
Nah, I feel that, boys. So talk to me about this, bro. We got 2020 West. You just dropped your newest, or at least some songs, because this ain't, I know you got plenty more that you want to go ahead and drop.
Right.
But talk about this project that you're working on right now. Kind of what's the inspiration for that? Kind of just go ahead.
So West Side is the album, you know, the album name. West Side means that I came out here and I had no idea what to expect. So I was going to make it my side, West Side. And not to sound cocky or nothing, but everybody wants to fight for what they love to do. Music is a fucking tough game. I mean, it's like you got to be like, I'm the best. You know, I'm this, I'm that. I'm not. That's just not me, but I am that. I am going to be that. And if you think that, you know, you're going to step to it, then that's fine. You know what I mean? I'm harder than the NBA when it comes to this music, I feel like. You know what I mean? Like, I just am. You know what I mean? I'm Nerlens when it comes to a big man. You know what I mean? Like, I got, you know, whatever it is,
Nerlens.
I got it when it comes to music. You know what I mean?
So the 3 songs, give us the names of the 3 songs that you released so far.
Bet a Million, WesGrams, Bet a Million. The other one's Make a Movie, and the other one's Cowabunga. All 3 of those. The reason why I did 3, which is a story I actually want to tell you, I released 3 of those on iTunes, thinking, oh, I'm going to be able to release a song every week, me being a new artist, dropping everything. And we do a little bit more research, and now we find out that we can only edit it one more time. So if we add anything to that album on iTunes, we can only add what we want, and then there's no more. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like you can add a song every week like I thought. That's where I messed up, and I'm just like, hey, let's just do this. Now we have to finish the album in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks, I got to get at least 8 to 10 songs done, which I do, but not all the way mastered, which is almost impossible.
Right.
But I got some people on the team that are going to work and do that. And, you know, I think in the next 2 weeks, which is going to screw my life over, but I'm going to be in the studio literally 24/7 starting tomorrow. I should be in there today.
But I appreciate it, bro.
I had to pull up on Alex Moore's show. You know what I mean? So I had to.
Yo, I got an even deeper question for you, bro. I want you to go ahead and think into the future now. Once this album is done and once it is released to the public, everybody's going to know who WesGrams is, or at least know your flow, a little bit about you. Tell me a little bit about the WesGrams that we're going to see. And we'll just say 3 months. What's the WesGrams in 3 months look like, bro? Talk to me about that.
I'm going to be famous before I have this baby. There's no question about it. I am literally going to spend as much money as I want on videos. I'm going to spend as much money as I want on advertising. I don't care what it is. When my baby comes out, it's going to know that I am going to put his path to he or she. I don't even know the sex yet. That's why I got a lot of time. But I find the sex in a week. So once I find out that it's a boy, it's grind mode. Once I find out it's a girl, it's even grind mode even more. I got to buy makeup. I got to buy all this stuff later on down the road. But, you know, that ain't going to be a worry to me. My kid is my praise to God. You know, I hope everything is fine. When I have this baby, that is what changed me. Right. That is what I'm not going to stop. I am going to make sure that everything's business now. See, things used to be friendship. Things used to be, oh, yeah, you can hop on my song. Oh, yeah, you can have this beat. Or, you know, you can even come over when someone's over that you want to meet. Whatever it is, everything is business now.
Right.
Everything. Like, you know, when you have that baby on the way, I'm not even talking to you unless you're buying some milk before you come in. You know, like it's like it's your whole mind changes, and it's funny because it's not something that I can just be like, hey Alex, feel this.
Right.
Feel it.
Yep.
Feel this about having when you have a kid on the way, it clicks in. It's just like and you guys, some dads watching the show, they understand. I didn't. Now I do.
That's crazy.
Now I understand. I don't even know a boy name. And I really wish I can come up with a boy name. I can't. Please send me some ideas.
A junior? You're not trying to go with Wesley?
I like Wesley. I think Wesley's the last. It's not the last resort. I think Wesley's my favorite name, but I do want to come up with something different. I want to come up with something creative. I want my, baby to be creative. When you name your baby, you want it to come out like that person, like so like sometimes it's funny because like I think of names like, man, I know a Camden. I don't want to name him Camden. Exactly. Or I know an Eric. I don't want to name him Eric. He's gonna think that, so I don't know if I should think like that or not. I don't know. This is really weird. But I came up with a girl name though. Hadley. I like Hadley for a girl name. We're gonna stick with that.
It's gonna come, bro. Like, trust me, it's gonna come to you, whatever that name is gonna be. And I love exactly how you said, bro. And obviously, I believe that you're gonna make it 1,000%.
Thank you, bro.
I'm gonna be rooting for you, and it's already done, bro. You already put it out there. It's gonna happen. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep going even more then.
Let's go. Let's go. You ain't got nothing. Where's the chicken wings and hot sauce? Huh? Where's the chicken wings and hot sauce?
I want you to think even further. So 2020, 3 months from now, less than 3, or at least before your child is here, you famous, the album is blowing up, people's knowing who you are. What do you see as the end goal? Go ahead and go and tell me a little bit about what's the end goal for you in the music scene. What do you accomplish overall, bro?
I'm gonna tell you right now, buying a house in California is where it's at. If you can make enough money to buy a house in California, do it. Look, I'm gonna tell you one thing from being from the East Coast that a lot of people don't know. My best friend flips houses, okay? He flips houses in Kentucky. He might make 30, 40 grand a house.
Right.
In regards of 4 months. That's great. That's great money. It's great money for these coasts. You're talking one flip in California is 200 or more thousand, on one flip.
Right.
I'll tell you what, my main goal is to buy a house in California and be happy. Do you know this weather out here? You came from Sac down here. I came from Kentucky down here to San Diego. Look, and honestly, everybody's chasing a dream. You know what I mean? You got, the show is popping right now. You got it going on. I'm trying to get this music going on. And like, it's just fun. It's fun. Like, cause every day we wake up, we got sunshine. You know what I mean? I would advise anybody to move San Diego.
It's different, bro. San Diego is really just, it's beautiful, man. Like, there's no comparison. Now, what I like what you're saying in all of your comments, bro, is that obviously, yeah, we all want to make money. Obviously, everybody knows that. But you do a good job of letting them know, like, it's not just about the money, man. Like, it's about the happiness at the end of the day. It's about making sure that your family is good at the end of the day. It's making sure everybody's pursuing their passion and they're in grind mode and they're going to achieve whatever it is that they want. And I feel like that gets really lost in the sauce. Everybody's just like, all right, I got to be the next millionaire, or I got to do this, or I got to do that, which is dope, obviously. But at the same time, if that happiness isn't there, you're not going to be good. You're not going to enjoy grinding. You're not going to enjoy, like, waking up every single day to do that. And
think about it this way. Think about look, I will say this. A lot of the professional athletes get paid a lot of money, so they have a lot to fall back on. They don't have to worry. But let's put in perspective. If you were an athlete and you made lots of money, you would be buying lots of things. You have lots of payments. Mm-hmm. These people are struggling too. And that's not their fault. They're making a lot of money, and they're buying Aston Martins, they're buying Lamborghinis, they're buying this, and they got $10,000 on each one payment. But right now they can't pay that because, NBA players are still getting paid. NBA players are still getting paid. They're actually getting paid to do nothing, so they're fine. but it's going to hurt everyone. This shit is going to hurt everyone. Like, even when it comes to the NBA players, you think 2 years from now, if this was to continue and people weren't buying NBA tickets to come watch them, it wouldn't hurt them? They would definitely drop the salary.
The average NBA player, you're right, bro. I would say probably the average to a little bit below average player that nobody even knows about. If that check stops coming in, bro, they struggling. Unless you literally.
Yeah. Regardless of who it is, think about it. You got $1 million coming in. You're gonna have a Lamborghini. You're gonna have a Bentley truck if you want it, and you're gonna have the payments. Even if you don't have the payments, you bought it. You're $350,000 in the hole.
Yep.
Well, luckily enough, NBA players, and I don't know about NFL. Just from inside sources, NBA players I heard are still getting paid.
Right.
But
it's tough.
yeah, it's tough. It's tough right now. It's really, really tough. And lucky enough, I still have a job. Like I said, I work 40 hours a week in my job right now, trying to come up off the music. Luckily, I still have a job.
Right.
My dad lost his. My dad, he has no money coming in. Unemployment isn't getting back to him. Yeah. We've already filed for him because his company told him to. And this is, no joke. This is real life. Like, he filed for unemployment. And unemployment is not even getting back to him because there's 23 million people in front of him. Mm-hmm. And it's just like the rent's not – luckily, Trump, not saying politics, but luckily we were able to receive – he was able to receive the $1,200.
Yeah. Obviously.
You know what I mean? To pay for the rent.
Going into like a whole nother story.
Yeah. But luckily, I had to bring that up. Luckily – that was that we had nothing to follow. You know what I mean? Like, we had nothing to follow. Like, why would I not say that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why would I not say that? Like, that's exactly how we paid the rent.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So this is how bad of a struggle it is. And like, it's crazy, man. God bless everybody. God bless everybody right now. We have no idea what's going to happen.
We really don't. And so everybody that's watching, like, make sure you guys are really understanding what Wes is talking about. Like, he's talking about, for one, chasing his dreams while still working a 9 to 5. Like, don't get it twisted. There's nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5 and using that money to go ahead and help with whatever business it is that you're really looking to go ahead and get into. So don't fall into that trap of thinking that, like, having a 9 to 5 isn't cool, or you got to go ahead and do illegal activities to go ahead and make the man.
And by the way, if you work in a corporate job and you want a certain spot, only go for that spot. Don't apply for a bunch of different spots because they look at that as in, oh, he's not content. He wants this. He wants that. He wants this money. He wants that money. Go for something you think you'll like in a corporate job, because I work for a corporate job. This is on the side record. And keep applying for that. If you get denied, don't apply for something else. Don't. It looks bad. Keep applying for that. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. You will get hired. You will get that position. You know what I mean? That will happen to you. Just make sure that you only go for that. If you go for everything else, you look too all around. You know what I mean? Just like, whatever. We're not going to hire him. He's going to go to this here in a couple years. Be considerate on what people think about you. You know what I mean? Be considerate. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to apply for something if I really don't want it. If you work in a good company, keep it. And if you have an opportunity to rise in that company, only go for one thing. And if it's above that, I'm just saying, if you want it, don't listen to the pay. Don't listen to the pay. Or listen to the pay. Whatever you want to do, go for that and nothing else. Like, why are you going for, just that's on a side note, just go for what.
And that applies to go after what it is that you really want.
Exactly.
No matter
what. So that's what I mean.
Yeah, and it can happen. It will happen. Like, I've seen.
And it's crazy because it's the same in the business world. You go to the music world, it's the same way. In the business world, it's like you think you're getting on their nerves, but you're not. You're not. Just keep going for it. Keep going for it. And eventually they have to hire you, because what do they look like not hiring
you?
Yeah. You are the only thing that they've applied for. Why would we not hire you? I mean, come on. You wasted 2 years of life applying for this job. Let's go ahead and bring them on.
It's possible, y'all. I remember back in 2014, 2015, first meeting this guy. where we came from, the type of cribs that we had, like compared to now, it's beautiful, man. Like enjoy that struggle, just enjoy that grind because it's all gonna pay off if you keep going. Like it really will. And we ain't even
Good
know
story.
where we want to be at. Go ahead,
Good
bro.
story about Alex right here. I'm not going to bring up anybody's name, but I sent Alex to somebody's house to make sure that they weren't passed away because he was on drugs. We're not going to bring up nobody's names. But I will tell you this, Alex, you are a good friend. Keep those people around you. Like, I mean, if you see somebody doing something bad, don't let it happen. Like, Alex, you know how bad I made you go over and kick that dude's door down, even though you didn't want to. And you made sure he was all right. That's real love. Keep that out there, all right? Just keep that out there. Alex, I will never forget that, man. I just, for some reason, I woke up thinking that guy was hurt. I'm not going to bring up no names. And you went over there because you didn't even want to. I called you because I was worried, and you went over there for me and make sure he was all right. And he almost – so just listen, I'm telling you, man, people are struggling. People are, especially right now. And we're not going to get all into that. But let's talk about this Warzone.
Boy,
give me some NBA questions right now because I know that's what you're best at.
let me go ahead and ask you. Give me your top 5 NBA players of all time.
Top. Ooh.
Just favorite. You don't have to be best.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm gonna come 100% real. My number 1 player is Nerlens Noel. The reason why I say that is because to my eyes, he was the best defensive player that Kentucky's ever seen. And me from knowing him and him playing in the NBA, which is one of the only friends I've ever known that's played in the NBA, makes him my favorite player. So it doesn't have to be anybody else's, but if you want to drop to anybody else's, and Shaq, the vintage Shaquille O'Neal, the way he dunked on people was my favorite. There's no comparison to a big man when it comes to vintage Shaq. There's absolutely no comparison. You can go ahead and bring him up. What do you want to do?
I'm not even finished. I'm not even no, bro. Shaq is.
I know. I'm just saying. Look, there is nobody that is comparing to that man. There is nobody. He's bringing down goals with him. I like him as a basketball player.
Now, I like how you brought up Nerlens, bro. I want to give you that because a lot of people, I guess you could say the average person, they might not even be too sure who Nerlens is. But
and that's okay. And that's okay because Nerlens has had a lot of fallouts. He tore his ACL when he played for Kentucky against Florida. He was our best player. We were on the way to the tournament when we had Nerlens. We had just started peaking. He started blocking 6 shots a game. Tore his ACL. Florida, one of the biggest losses we ever had. He was the only reason we were going to make it to the tournament. We had Kyle Wiltshire. Come on. I'm not even going to get started. Archie Goodwin.
Shout out to Archie. Y'all.
Shout out to Archie.
Listen, bro. I'm going to tell you why I like that. The fact that you said Nerlens is because I root for underdogs. Like Isaiah Thomas, one of my favorite players, like had to overcome just obstacles his whole career. Boogie Cousins, same thing, getting hurt over and over and over again, trying to bounce back. Nerlens has a similar story, bro. Like,
yeah. He does, and no one thinks about that. Nerlens tore his ACL in the worst part of time that you could. I mean, like right when we were like, oh, we are being something because Nerlens just turned it up. Does anybody remember Marshall Henderson?
Lefty. Or no. Marshall Henderson.
The white boy that played for Ole Miss. Come on. He was the most hated player in college basketball.
Yeah.
Okay, Nerlens threw his shit to out of the stands, threw his shit to Arizona. And that day that happened, because I did not like Marshall Henderson. I hate his attitude on the court. I hated him. That's just me being a Kentucky fan. Most people won't, but I hated Marshall Henderson. Nerlens threw his shit to the court.
Right.
To another state.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. Look, that's what I mean. Like vintage, like when you talk about a defensive player that really can stop some things, Nerlens is very agile. He's very, skinny. He's tall. He can move quick. And you don't like. Not a lot of people know this, but this man can dribble like a point guard. I mean, when he goes through the legs and spins, I'm telling you, I played a pickup game with him, and it wasn't like he obviously is not going to injure himself. He wouldn't even take the risk. He wouldn't even play a real game with me. But he did dribble with me. And he shook. I mean, like, I didn't even try to play defense, and he shook me. I was just watching him, and he shook me. Like, this guy, these people that are in the NBA, like, if you think that, Boogie Cousins, or you think that Langley, you think these guys are not agile at dribbling. A lot of these guys will cross a point guard. Yeah, a lot of these guys will cross a point guard.
Yeah, they coach just doesn't let them do it, but they can.
Exactly.
I believe it. And
they will cross the best point guard that you bring across them, matter of fact.
Yeah, facts. And real quick, y'all, because I do want you guys to just go ahead and check out Nerlens' story, just as far as him getting drafted to Philly during those process years and really just having such dysfunctional organization that kind of just gave up on him and kind of threw him under the bus, honestly. To him going to Dallas with Coach Carlisle, him and Coach Carlisle not really getting along, him all of a sudden riding the bench. Like, people are questioning, is he even still going to be in the league anymore?
That man's a boss.
Exactly. So all of a sudden.
That man's a boss defensively. You don't even have, like, I wouldn't even say, like, offensively he's a threat. But and he is. He is an offensive threat. He can be an offensive threat.
Yeah.
Defensively, this man is a problem.
And he's
like, if you think defensively, this man is a problem. Like, I mean, this is why you can't get rid of this man. I mean, like, when it comes to making defensive plays happen and standing tall, Nerlens is the man to pick. He's on my top 5. He's on my top 500% because of heart and everything.
I'm glad you mentioned him, and he's had a real good couple years with OKC now. So I'm really glad that you mentioned him. Let me go ahead and see. We'll go ahead and end it with this. Who do you got winning the championship this year if the season comes back?
With everybody not being able to play towards quarantine, the Bucks.
Over LeBron?
Yeah. Eric, I like Anthony. You know, I'm an Anthony Davis fan. I'm a Kentucky boy fan. Y'all got my boy Rondo out there. Do not even trip acting like this is the Lakers. This is not the Lakers, okay? This is Kentucky. Y'all have Anthony Davis. Y'all have Rondo, okay? This team is nothing without them two, okay? You can put LeBron on there. You can put Danny Green. You can put Rondo. You can take Rondo out. But his team is nothing without Anthony Davis. Let's keep that 100%. This team is nothing without Anthony Davis. And DeMarcus Cousins cannot even play. This team, but if DeMarcus Cousins hits that floor on the Lakers, then it's a wrap. Yeah, I'm sorry. Bucks are not winning that shit. I forgot about DeMarcus Cousins sitting over there.
A lot of people did, bro.
No, it's Lakers. It's Lakers. But I like the Bucks because I like Bledsoe. Bledsoe is a pit bull. He's a pit bull. He's one of those guys that can come out of quarantine, I feel like, and really rock a show.
That boy, that's a mini LeBron right there. So shout out to Bledsoe.
Yeah, I think he's a little pit bull.
He's a dog, bro. So other than that, bro, before we get out of here, you got anything else you want to talk about? Anything that I missed as far as your career goes? Any shout outs? Just anything, bro.
Yeah, I want to shout out to you. I want to shout out to all your homeboys that you introduced me to from back home when we've been out, in the past. I want to shout out to everybody back in Kentucky, if, they get to watch this. And I do want to shout out to everybody that's in quarantine right now that's lost their jobs and waiting for unemployment or waiting for anything else. Just keep waiting. I mean, that's all my dad's doing. Right now we have nothing to fall back on. So, if it's anything like anybody else out there, we are struggling with it too. So just keep your head up. The whole world is really struggling with this.
Prayers up, man. Prayers up to everyone for real. Well, yeah, bro, thank you so much for coming on here today. I know we're going to have you again a couple months from now, and I can't wait to see everything that's changed between now and hey. Got a lot, bro. I love you. Like, you my boy.
Love you too, man.
At the top, bro. Thank you so much. And
yes, sir.
Next episode. Peace.
Peace.